Hello, I'm Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to my backyard. This is another entrepreneurial edition of the Marky Dragon Show, and today I got another great question, and it has to do with sourcing for resale. Now, what that means is that how do I buy something like, I don't know, how do I own a grocery store, and maybe a grocery store is not the best. Let me just read his question here, and then I'll come up with a good example. So, I am an entrepreneur. I am starting an online business in a highly price-driven market. I have a number of well-known distributors lined up and have started up accounts with a few. My competitors are using the same distributors, and I cannot figure out how they are selling things so cheap. Sometimes only a 4% markup. And and then he wants to know, 4%, by the way, is not enough. Do I use distributors? How do you build relationships with them to bring prices down? Any advice? Okay, so let me tell you about my experience with my computer store, which was a very price-driven market on parts, and all of us in the city primarily got our stuff from the same vendors, from the same wholesalers. It's not like today where you can get stuff shipped so much more easily. This was back in the mid-90s. And before Fry's Electronics was around. Fry's came in and killed the market. And now Amazon has come in and done the same, in my belief. So we had about 5 different distributors within the city that all carried very similar products or similar product lines. And so we had... you need to make at least a 10% markup, if not a 20% markup. These days, I would not consider buying and reselling something if it was not at least a 20% markup. If it's anything below that, then there better be some advantage to taking it on, like it's going to bring in more customers just because I have it. And let's say, because I have a certain type of motherboard that nobody else in the area has, is going to cause a lot more people to come in and buy their new computer systems from me because they want that particular motherboard in there. And so I may have a loss leader on the motherboard, but I make up for that with the computer sale, in its entirety. Getting the prices down is something that that is a constant struggle, no matter what the product is you're selling. It could even be, that you're a grocery store and you're sourcing lettuce from a few different sources or something like that. And so here's one thing that you can do. One is to have multiple accounts. By having multiple accounts, you can know the prices of the different accounts. And so let's say that you have this other place where if you buy 10 units, you can get them at $10 each instead of their normal $11 each, and that another place that you're looking at is like $11.50 or something like that, and you'd rather go with the place that's $11.50 because they treat you better, they have better service and everything. But you go and you buy the 10 units, at $10 each, because you're saving that money, and which then increases your profits. Then you can go over to the other place that you really like, and you can say, hey, I'm getting them from over here at this price. What can you do for me? It doesn't even have to be, can you match it or whatnot. It's what can you do for me? They want your business. If they have room to move on their margin, they will. And this is, just something that you use all the time, and if they then say on your next order, oh, it has to go back up to the regular price, you say, well, damn, I really like using you guys, but I don't make a whole lot of money on these. I need to go back over and get them at the other place, because that's what's going to help me make the money, do what I need to. And they'll respond with that. They'll tell you that if they can't match it, they'll tell you, and they'll try and come as close as they can. But that is how you get the prices down, and it's only by having multiple. Now, the other thing about that, let's talk about motherboards. Okay, so let's say that one of the things that we were known for is we had Gigabyte motherboards, and we had Asus, and we had Gigabyte, and we had Intel and stuff, and I think we had Micro. I think they were called Micro. But anyway, so we were one of the few places that had Gigabyte motherboards, and they were not very common. They were a little bit more expensive, but people who were enthusiasts knew what they wanted. They knew if they wanted those particular motherboards for their different abilities with overclocking and such. And so we then didn't worry so much about price as we did about, appealing to the proper market. So we have these motherboards, and it's really a matter of marketing them properly so that people want them. And you're not ripping them off by charging a healthy profit. You don't have to undercut the other guys. So there may be other guys in town that are also selling those motherboards, and they get them from the same place, and they're paying the same price as you, and they choose to have it at 4%, like you mentioned, or whatever percentage. And don't play that game. I think that the game really can be made up the difference on customer service. That is something that is so lacking in at least the United States, in our stuff these days, that when our game code store, markydragon.com, all the time we get comments back of, oh my God, you guys have great customer service. And that's because that is our most important thing. And that's what keeps a person coming back. We have some products that you can find cheaper elsewhere, but when you need any help with it, and we are able to help, then why not pay a little bit more to buy it through us, which is still, we don't sell anything above retail. At least currently we're not selling anything above retail. We might sometime in the future, but right now we don't. And, so why not buy it from us, where we have a phone number you can call us at. We have email that's monitored 19 hours out of the day. And I say 19 because we have a 5-hour stretch in the middle of the night where we're not staffed, but the store is still open. Orders are placed and transactions happen, but customer service is not there if there's an issue. But we chose the set of hours that has the least amount of transactions happening, and so it's going to be the least amount of customer service needs. And so, how can you then beat the competition, not with price, but with other things that are of value to the customer? And I think that that's what I've been doing, and I tell you, it's successful. That once a person tries you and they have a great experience, they're going to come back and they're going to recommend you. And once if you can if you can all the time have just be stellar, there's no reason why you won't get the business. There are people who will say, I can't buy from you because this guy is cheaper. And it's the same thing as what you're doing with the wholesalers, saying, hey, Joe Blow's got it cheaper, I should buy it there. And if they are good at customer service or whatnot, well, actually, I just made my point, didn't I? Earlier I was saying that you want to use these one particular people, but they're a little bit more expensive than the other people that have the rock bottom price, but they don't give you as good a customer service. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about it from the other end of what the customer sees. And so, that is something to look at. There are other ways to make your stuff value added. If it's a service or something like that, why not bundle another service with it that you can get at a really cheap rate, but it makes it very value added to the customer, because a lot of them will see that and say, oh, you know what? It looks like I'm actually getting this for free on there, or I'm getting it so much cheaper than if I would have to buy it, and I was going to buy that eventually anyway. And so that's where it does it. So I can tell you too that going straight to the source is a better way to lower your price. And so if you can go straight to the source on your product and get up enough volume to buy direct, then you're going to be able to lower your cost, and everybody else in the area is going to be going, how the hell does he sell them so cheap? How can he do only a 4% markup? That's because you're buying straight from the source, and you don't have to tell anybody about that. You just do it. And then it helps you be more competitive. It also gives you the advantage of being right in there with the source, and so any technical stuff that you need, any customer service issues that come up with their products or whatnot, you have a direct person you can talk to and get those issues figured out and resolved, which gives you better customer service, which in turn gets you more customers. So it's all a synergy and higher quality. And don't be afraid to turn customers away because they don't like your price. That is perfectly fine to turn customers away because they don't like your price. I do it all the time, and I tell them, I say, hey, we have stellar customer service though, and so if you ever need help with this kind of product or whatnot, then consider using us. And you know what? Some of them do come back and do that, and when great customer service happens, it's noticed and it's awesome. So now another thing said about going direct is that you can really bring up your customer service level with that as well. And in fact, I don't chase products that, unless they're kind of accidental, like all of a sudden all these people are coming wanting to buy this from us. I don't chase products unless I'm direct. And that's where I want to be, is direct. We sold in our game code stores, we sold World of Warcraft game time and everything, but the problem is everybody and their mother is selling it too, and they're selling it at very low markups and everything. And we had volumes where maybe we could have gone direct, but it wasn't quite enough. We said, screw it, we're not even going to handle this product. And so you won't find World of Warcraft on our site anymore. And that's just because it wasn't profitable in our business plan. And I want to focus on things that work in our formula. So anyway, I hope that helps. And now I'm barbecuing right now. I got the barbecue over here. See? There's a barbecue. In fact, do you want to see the pizza? I'm barbecuing pizza again. And so, let's go look at it. It should be about done. So we shall see here. It's a little noisy over here, but that's just because of how it it has a motor in it. So let me just zoom in here, and let's see. We'll take a look at the one that's on this side. Trigger grill, by the way. I love the Trigger grill. I can even do pizza on it. Oh, look at that! Isn't that looking beautiful? And it's not quite brown yet on the bottom. So when it's browned up, it's when it's done. That's looking really good. So, by the way, the Trigger grills I mean, I just love my Trigger grill, and in fact, I found recently that you can buy them on Amazon, as well as the pellets. And the pellets, I was going out and paying $21 a bag at the local feed place that has them. And I found them on Amazon with Amazon Prime, so shipped for free, between $12 and $16 a bag. And so you better believe I'm ordering them on Amazon now instead of going to the local market. And the local place, by the way, is 25 miles away. So I save a lot of money by doing it that way. And so there you have it. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.
You like that, don't you? Eyebrows are even black. Have my aunt put it on. Makeup. Yeah, it's not really dyed. The eyebrows aren't. Yeah, like these. I was listening to dubstep before a lot of you were wearing diapers, alright? You like that, don't you?